If you're thinking about expanding your business or investing in Niagara, consider the financial incentives available through the Niagara Gateway Economic Zone and Centre Community Improvement Plan. These incentive programs are available in 5 Niagara communities: Thorold, Niagara Falls, Welland, Port Colborne, and Fort Erie. There are 2 programs available: the Tax Increment-Based Grant Program and the Regional Development Charge Grant Program. How does the tax grant program work? When a business incurs higher municipal and regional property taxes due to new construction or expansion, the Tax Increment-Based Grant Program acts like a rebate to offset the tax increase. Under this program, rebates of up to 100% of the increased tax amount are available. The incentive amount is determined by the score a project receives in areas such as construction value, environmental design, and the number of full-time jobs. For example, a $3 million project, which meets 4 of 6 design criteria and creates 50 full-time jobs, qualifies for a rebate equal to 65% of the increase in property taxes. Projects approved for the Tax Incentive Program may also be eligible for the Development Charge Grant Program to a maximum of $1.5 million. These projects need to achieve exceptional scores for environmental design and economic benefit to qualify. For qualifying projects, this grant program also functions like a rebate. The Development Charge Grant is provided after construction is complete. There is no fee to apply for either of these programs. For more information about locating or expanding your business in Niagara, visit niagaragatewaycip.ca or call 905-980-6000.
The Niagara Gateway Economic Zone and Centre Community Improvement Plan Incentive Program, an exciting tool to help revitalize, strengthen, and diversify Niagara's economy. The Niagara Gateway Economic Zone and Centre Community Improvement Plan Incentive Program, or Gateway CIP as it is more commonly referred, is offered through a partnership between Niagara Region and the local Gateway municipalities. The Gateway CIP program provides financial incentives to property owners who revitalize, strengthen, and diversify Niagara's economy by promoting investment, development, and redevelopment on employment lands in the Niagara Gateway CIP program areas. These program areas are in the communities of Fort Erie, Niagara Falls, Port Colborne, Thorold, and Welland. There are 2 incentive programs available through the Gateway CIP. The Gateway Tax Increment-Based Grant Program, offered on a matching basis by Niagara Region and the local Gateway municipality, and the Regional Development Charge Grant Program, offered by the Niagara Region on qualifying projects. The Tax Increment-Based Grant Program, often referred to as a TIF, applies to the regional and municipal portion of property taxes on eligible projects. More specifically, this program offers a tax increment grant on eligible projects based on their economic and environmental design performance and this is very important, provided the project creates an increase in assessment and therefore an increase in property taxes upon project completion. To reiterate, if the project does not generate an increase in property value assessment, there is no TIF benefit available. Tax increment grants are available for a duration of 5 or 10 years, depending on the location of the project. Within each of the 5 Gateway municipalities, certain areas have been identified as strategic locations for investment. Within these strategic locations, an eligible project may receive a TIF for a period of up to 10 years. If a project is within the urban area of the Gateway municipality, but is not within a strategic location for investment, eligible projects may receive a TIF grant for a period of up to 5 years. This map highlights the locations of the strategic locations within the Gateway municipalities. In order to be eligible for the Gateway Tax Increment Grant Program, applications are considered based on their ability to address certain predefined economic and environmental design performance criteria. Based on these performance criteria, an application is evaluated based on a 20-point scale, with 15 points available for economic performance, or the number of full-time jobs created or retained, and the proposed construction value, and 5 points are available for adherence to LEED certification or conformity with the region's smart growth design criteria. It is important to note that the scoring criteria does not recognize construction-related jobs as eligible for consideration. For exceptional gateway projects, or those which score more than 14 of the 20 possible points, the second of the 2 Gateway Incentive Programs becomes available. Through the Gateway Development Charge Grant Program, a rebate of regional development charges paid is provided at the completion of construction on the same percentage basis as the tax increment grant to a maximum of $1.5 million per project. To better illustrate how a gateway project is evaluated and scored, illustrated here is the complete gateway scoring matrix. Points awarded for the creation or retention of full-time jobs, A, plus the points awarded for construction value, or the construction value as indicated on the associated building permit, plus the points available for either LEED certification or adherence to Niagara's smart growth design criteria, equal the project's total Gateway CIP score, and ultimately the TIF funding level achieved. It is important to note that projects must score in both economic and environmental performance to be eligible for Gateway incentive funding. To further illustrate how the Gateway TIF program works, and to better highlight the financial benefits available to eligible projects, please consider this example. Assuming the following: that a project is within a strategic location for investment and is eligible to participate in the Gateway TIF program for a duration of 10 years, that the applicant will create between 30 and 50 full-time jobs, that the construction value on the associated building permit is between $2 and $10 million, and that the project incorporates 4 of 6 smart growth design criteria into the development, the project would receive a score of 13 points and be eligible for a 65% Gateway TIF. Following the arithmetic through the table provided, and assuming the project completion values as provided, the applicant could be eligible to receive approximately $119,000 in TIF financing, or 65% of the $184,000 in annual tax increment for a period of 10 years. As such, at the end of the 10-year TIF program, the applicant could realize a tax savings of over $1 million. Based on the direction provided during the pre-application meeting, a formal application is prepared, often with the support and assistance of the local municipality, and submitted to the local municipality, who then screen the application for completeness. If additional information is required, the applicant is provided opportunity to provide that information. Once the application is deemed complete, its receipt is officially acknowledged to the client, at which time a building permit may be sought. During this process, the local municipality and the region's Gateway team work closely and in collaboration to support the applicant and ensure the application is best positioned for success and approval. Once the application has been deemed complete and officially acknowledged as received, a pre-approval letter confirming eligibility and outlining an estimate of project funding is provided to the applicant. Municipal staff then review the application and prepare recommendations to their council for consideration and approval. Once local approval is obtained, regional approval is sought. It is important to note that the regional review of the application occurs concurrently and in partnership with the local review to ensure an expeditious processing of the application. Once approved, a tri-party agreement outlining the terms and conditions and obligations of all the parties is prepared and executed. As interest and uptake in the Gateway CIP program has begun to increase, it has become clear that certain administrative program nuances require additional and specific illustration and explanation. More specifically, the following are a series of program nuances which have been identified as important to ensure program stakeholders be reminded of and have a comprehensive understanding of. Firstly, retail, commercial, and residential developments are not eligible to participate in the Gateway CIP program. The Gateway CIP program is intended to encourage non-retail commercial and industrial development or employment uses as defined by the local municipality. As each Gateway municipality defines their employment uses a little differently, it is important applicants confirm early in the due diligence and application process that their project is eligible. For the purposes of the Gateway CIP, a retained job is considered equal or equivalent to a new or newly created job. However, if an application scores points based on a number of retained jobs, it is critical that a business case explanation is provided to describe how the project helped retain those jobs or how those jobs are dependent or contingent upon the proposed project. The employment component of the Gateway CIP scoring matrix is based on full-time equivalent jobs, or FTEs. Applicants are made aware of this important consideration and are provided the necessary calculations to assist in the determination of their FTEs for application purposes. In terms of application administration and review, all Gateway CIP applications must be officially received and deemed complete by the local municipality before the applicant can apply for and receive a building permit. If a Gateway application is received following the issuance of a building permit, the Gateway application will be deemed non-conforming and will require municipal and regional council review and approval and will no longer be eligible for staff-delegated review and approval. Non-conforming applications take longer to review and process based on committee and council schedules. Another of the Gateway scoring criteria relates to the estimated construction value of the project. It is important to note that the construction value, as indicated on the application, must match that on the building permit. And where there are discrepancies between the application and building permit values, the building permit value will be utilized for scoring. There are two financial incentive programs available through the Gateway CIP program: the Tax Increment-Based Grant Program and the Gateway CIP Development Charge Program. With respect to the latter, the Gateway Development Charge Reduction Program is only available to what are known as or referred to as exceptional projects, or those which have scored 14 or more points on the program scoring matrix. The Gateway Development Charge Reduction Program provides a reduction in development charges at the same percentage rate as the Tax Increment-Based Grant Program, meaning if an application scores 15 points and is therefore eligible for a 75% TIF, the project would also be eligible for a 75% reduction in regional DCs up to a maximum of $1.5 million per project. At present, any exceptional projects eligible for a Gateway DC reduction must be approved by Regional Council. The last of the Gateway CIP scoring pertains to environmental design criteria, either embodied through LEED certification or a project's adherence to Niagara's Smart Growth Design criteria. Where a project seeks to have its environmental design criteria recognized via the region's Smart Growth Design criteria, and where such a project is an expansion of an existing development or facility, such a recognition can only be made based on the new expansion and cannot be awarded for Smart Growth Design criteria which may have existed as a component of the existing facility. Once an approved Gateway-supported expansion or development project is complete, a post-construction verification will occur to determine and ensure that all of the terms and conditions of the Gateway CIP legal agreement have been satisfied. Once the post-construction verification has occurred, a process of ongoing monitoring will begin and will be carried out by the local municipality and as determined appropriate by the municipality and the regional Gateway team. While this presentation provides additional detail and information on the Niagara Gateway Economic Zone and Centre Community Improvement Plan and its administration, it is not intended to act as the definitive record on the program. Rather, it is intended to provide a common foundation from which additional and more specific discussion and analysis can be facilitated. As such, stakeholders and interested parties are encouraged to reach out to the professional staff at the Region of Niagara or the appropriate Gateway municipality. In this regard, please contact Adam June, expediter in the Economic Development Division of the Region of Niagara and member of the Region's Gateway team, who will be more than happy to help further explain the program and its administration, or connect interested parties with the appropriate staff. Thank you for your interest in the Niagara Gateway Economic Zone and Center Community Improvement Plan. The Niagara Gateway Economic Zone and Center Community Improvement Plan, revitalizing, strengthening, and diversifying the local economy.